How do you know the weight of a man's words? There is only one measure of any merit: bodies. Understand, it is only when the spirit, which has no corporeal form, is elevated above the physical, the immediate, that the greatest things are accomplished by the greatest men. You must reject the world before you can conceive of bringing about the heaven you dream of. Weigh your words in steel, in blood, and in dead brother's family. Betray nothing to the vision you breathed into this world. It is the spirit, the culture, the spoken word of our people that binds us all. You can take our cities, raise our children under your banners, but as long as the word is held above all, we are still a people. And to do that, people must be comfortable with betraying their self-preservation for our self-preservation. Victory is spiritual first, then physical. Outer form represents inner harmony. What you must understand is this: the Christians who spurn truth, which will always be in the image of divine law, reject it. Knowledge, the path to truth, they call it evil. They call it the devil, failing to realize that ignorance is the greatest cruelty to ever walk the cosmos, be it Earth or other civilizations. This is why they burn Umm Salim, a 13-year-old girl without due trial, and celebrate it with joy, because she used her imagination, a divine tool, to talk to a doll while playing. They fear truth because it reflects on their souls, which are contemptible, and they will remain contemptible so long as they hide their hearts in darkness from the fires of enlightenment, which are felt through toil with the earth. Slave morality, which we will simply refer to as Christianity, has a strange relationship with and effect on its subjects. In psychology, we understand subject-object interaction, object-object interaction, and subject-subject interaction. The subject is animate. The object is inanimate. Christianity teaches the subject to despise the subject. Unlike other ethical frameworks, which are inherently self-actualizing, Christianity enforces homogeneity by its very nature, because it infers what is good for itself from what it despises in others. And since humans are tribal creatures, this almost always boils down to, they wear blue, I wear red. It is a blight because it depends on psychological and social lynching to infer its morality, which has more to do with identity than with truth. And all organisms, at a certain level of consciousness, need a sense of self to orient, which is necessary for survival. But the Christians, the West, are blind. They fail to realize that in separating themselves from evil, denying it in themselves, they have created an evil in equal measure to the very goodness they sought. Every action has its counterbalance. Nothing in this cosmos is divorced from its polarity. You are born with an inherent fixation, a focus that by its very nature makes you see one thing and blinds you to another. Ignorance is the source of suffering and cruelty. Throughout your life, you will subject yourself and others to the same cruelty again and again by virtue of your own ignorance. Knowledge requires confinement and parameters, and the self is realized through knowledge and contrast. And the Christian is the most ignorant. They demonize the suffering brought upon by knowledge. They call it the devil. They call it evil. And in doing so, they separate themselves from the path to wisdom, the valuing and pursuit of understanding, cutting off their path to divinity and calling it piety. This devil, as they call it, this trickster, even the archetype of truth, exposed through inversion, is nothing more than the human inclination for dialectic reasoning. It only haunts one so long as one refuses to face oneself. And the Christian rejects the self entirely as an agent within this world.